Today's been one of those days where everyone has been telling me that photography is such an expensive hobby. I don't think it is. I think it's only expensive if you buy into the manufacturer's propaganda that you need the best gear all the time. And by the best gear they mean the newest gear, and the newest gear is the most expensive gear. So indeed photography can be very, very expensive. But this little camera that I picked up is actually photography on the cheap, and photography which is perfectly adequate for most people's needs. This camera is the Pentax K110 digital camera. It was introduced in 2006, so at the time of making this it's about 15 years old. It's a 6.1 megapixel CCD sensor. APS, it has a Pentax K mount, so it will take a wide range of autofocus and manual lenses. It's entry level. It is, as so many cameras are these days, multi-modes. I think for most people they would actually get on very, very well with this camera. I was told when I got it that it was no good. And it was no good because it didn't focus properly and it made black marks all over the prints. Well, it did focus properly, but what the previous owner hadn't taken into account is this slider along the top alters the what the picture looks like in the viewfinder. It's a diopter adapter so that people who wear glasses can shoot without glasses on. So if you're not put it in the right place, everything looks fuzzy. The other reason it was no good was the black marks on it. When I took the lens off, put the camera onto B, I discovered there were 2 black smudges on the sensor. All I needed to do was literally blow them off. So I got out my lens cleaning brush and 2 squirts of air, and the camera was back to normal. There are a couple of smudges on the focusing screen, but they don't affect the camera at all. So this is a perfectly acceptable entry-level camera with an 18 to 55mm lens, and you can probably pick one up for about £100. Given that it has access to all the K-mount lenses, the Pentax and other producers have been using for many, many years now, if you are prepared to put up with manual focus lenses, you can get K-mount lenses as cheap as chips. You can pick up lenses from £5 to £10. This camera will also take, if I can get this off, the Pentax dedicated flash guns, which are the same as Chinon, Centon, Miranda. Again, the flash guns are really cheap. This could be the centre of a very, very inexpensive camera outfit. I'm not going to spend much time on features of the camera. What I am going to do is go out and use it. And I'm going to take a couple of walks around the village that I live in, and I'm going to put the pictures at the end of this video. You make up your mind. Do you think photography is an expensive hobby if you're willing to compromise from your multi megapixel cameras down to something which is perfectly acceptable for social media use, internet use? Unless you're going to print things up at 16 by 20, you don't need any more than 5 megapixels, so this camera will do you fine. See what you think. I love it. I actually really, really like this camera. I've always liked Pentaxes, and this one is going to serve me well.